Pollsmoor Prison. Let's check in with her. Good morning, Tilian.
Yes, welcome back. Very good morning to you, Valen, and coming to you live from Pollsmoor Prison here in the Western Cape, in Tokai to be exact. And behind us we've got the Pollsmoor Prison Band that are giving us some entertainment here. Well, what we're doing today is we're focusing in on life for mothers with babies here in prison. And it's amazing that in the facility behind me there are around about 30 babies that are here. Now, they range between 5 days old. Now, that's how young one of the babies is here, up until about 1 year and 6 months. That's probably one of the oldest babies, and they stay here until they're 2 years old. And then, of course, the mother has to say goodbye. So that moment when you have to say goodbye to your child, when it's either given to another family member outside of prison or into foster care, is certainly not easy. But stay tuned to Morning Live. We'll be talking to some of the mothers that are inmates here in the prison and finding out what life is like for them having a baby. Well, certainly being incarcerated is not an easy task for anybody that is sentenced to any term in prison. But can you imagine being a pregnant mother and having to come to jail? Well, we caught up with, we're here at Pollsmoor Prison, but we're also visiting a couple of other prisons around the country, and our crew went to the Polokwane Correctional Services. They spoke to some of the mothers. This is what they had to say.
Correctional Center has less than 100 female offenders and awaiting trial prisoners. Amongst them, a few mothers. Rutendo Machaya is only 19. While awaiting trial at the police station, she had hoped she'd walk free. She was shattered when convicted and sentenced. She feared for the well-being of her unborn baby.
I was so worried because I don't know how the prison is like. So I was so very frightened every time. So I was very, very frightened because I don't know what was the prison is it like. So now I'm not worried about that prison because we can just all of these things, even that bills, even whatever they can just give us. So it's fine.
Majaya says upon release, she'll immediately take the baby to Zimbabwe, where she comes from. Mesingoveni is also grateful for how she and her baby have been cared for in the prison. The young mother is due for release at the end of December and can't wait to get home.
I live well here at the center. There is nothing that I am lacking so far, and the treatment is good. However, I do miss home. People outside must not long to be here in prison. They must not steal and do criminal activities, because being in prison is not good, even though we do have health facilities, but people are not encouraged to come here.
Hawala says over the years that she's worked at the center, she's seen babies come and go. She says the prison tries to normalize the babies' lives as much as possible. In terms of the law, babies can only be in prison until they turn 2.
We are really managing to give them everything they need because babies did not commit anything here. Their mothers are the ones who committed crime, so the babies must get everything that the babies outside get.
Other than amenities provided by prison authorities, there's a fellow inmate that has been playing granny to the little ones. Khawalo Magoleo in Polokwane.
All right, so that's another facility here in South Africa, but we broadcasting from Pollsmoor Prison. And today around the country, there are going to be Christmas parties held for these little ones. And you know that there are 92 babies that are in prisons across South Africa. And they're going to, of course, have these little parties around, and they're going to be giving out some toys and some presents. And I can see the packages here around me. They're all around my feet, actually. So I've been sneaking inside and looking at a couple of the presents that they're getting. and I'm going to grab one here. I found a cute little teddy bear. So this is going to one of the little babies here in the prison. So it's something that social services has actually been doing around the country for about 7 years. So it's nothing new, but it's something that we as Morning Live are witnessing. So it's very, very new for us. So I'm going to put him back in his packet in case I steal a gift from a little kid. I don't want to do that. I mean, that's just wrong. Can you imagine? I'm stealing a teddy bear from a little one. Anyway, joining me now on the program is Lizna Nel. She is from an organization called Inguqu Development, and they help with handing out these gifts. It's good to meet you, and thank you very much for being with us here on Morning Live.
Thank you so much for having us, Leanne. We're very excited. Inguqu Development is a leader in crime awareness programs throughout South Africa. So this is our charity of choice. This is for us something that's very close to our hearts because this shows better than anything else what the consequences of those crimes are. And we started this, like you said, 7 years ago throughout the country, normally different provinces. And our founder, Siyandam Tulu, it was his initiative originally. And we've just said, how can we do it to some babies around the country and not all? So this year we said, let's do it nationally. Let's give something special to all of these kids that are not here by choice or their mistake or error.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not their fault. It really isn't. And yet they have to spend their time here. But they are young. They're babies and they have their mothers with them. And that's something I know a lot of people are watching this broadcast thinking, man, but this is not right. It's cruel for them. But I can tell you from what I'm seeing here that the environment that they're in is not cruel. The babies are with their mothers all the time, and it seems like it seems like a nice environment for babies to be in.
I'm so glad you're saying that because this is a nice environment because we've created this nice environment. However, what people do need to know is that it doesn't look like this at every prison, and that's something that's very important for us to get the word out there because a lot of people don't even know about these babies that are behind bars. And we've been so fortunate to get fantastic sponsorship through Airports Company South Africa that has given gifts to all of these 92 babies this year for the clothing, toiletries, toys. And then we also had, that was the Bram Fisher International Airport, and then we also had the Cape Town International Airport that sponsored this beautiful garden. This was not like this a couple of weeks ago. Really? So if it wasn't for companies like that saying, we know about these babies, let's make a change in their life because the early development is so important. And when you've got the baby that is still behind the bars, like it is in a lot of the prisons, then obviously that child goes behind on their early childhood development. They don't get to see sand, they don't feel grass, they don't know cars, they don't know trees. Yeah. So what we're doing here, we are trying to make people aware of that we can do countrywide.
Okay. So, all right, you're educating me because this is the first time I've been to one of these facilities. And so this is not the picture for the most of prisons in South Africa. We talk about 92 babies that are currently in jails in South Africa, and they sometimes don't even see the outside. Is that the picture?
Yeah, there is obviously facilities for them to go outside, but it's the normal prison facility. So where a normal grown-up prisoner, if you like, would go outside, not the things you want to develop or you want to expose a child that is in a development phase at with their sensory development, etc. So that's something that we are trying to create and get out there to expose all of these children to.
All right. Thank you for talking to us. I'm going to chat to you the whole morning while I'm here and relay some of the things that you tell me to our viewers out there. Thank you. Good luck for today. And nationwide, for the very first time, all babies in prison are going to be getting Christmas presents around the country, and I think that's wonderful. Lizna Nel, who's from Inguqu Development, talking to us here on Morning Live. Let's take a break. More after this. Stay tuned.